Hello, welcome back to the boat shop. Today is April 3rd. Say hello, Archie. Yeah. And we'll give you a little update what's been going on this past week. And as you can see here, I got a sheet getting ready to go on. I've got the first, well, 2 coats of epoxy and a layer of fiberglass on. And then I just got done earlier today putting the copper naphthenate on the back side of this panel. It needs 1 more coat of epoxy, so it won't go on for a couple days yet. But as you can see up here, I got the first sheet on. And you can kind of get the idea what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to move this scaffolding ahead. And the scaffolding is long enough that I can work a number of feet ahead of the next sheet. So I can let the epoxy, when I'm filling screw holes and sanding and whatnot, I can let that cure before we put the copper naphthenate on the sides of the boat, on the outsides here, and then put the sheets on. And I like to give this copper naphthenate, I just put this on here just now, minutes ago, so you can see it's maybe a little wet yet. But I like to give this a couple days to dry. So the epoxy and the adhesives get a good bite on that. And as you can see, I'm leaving the bottom about 3 or 4 inches here. I don't coat with copper naphthenate. Not that it makes a whole lot of difference, but epoxy is going to go on there anyway, so it doesn't really need it. But over here, a couple things I've been getting ready for here. One is this, and this is a 3 1/4 inch. 3 1/4 inch, I think that's what it is. I don't know. It's the right size for making my my exhaust, fiberglass exhaust parts. And I got this tube just kind of setting up here on this pipe, and then I'll run coat this in. And what I wanted to use was, I used to buy a film, a plastic film. It was kind of a thick plastic, real glossy, hard plastic film, but very thin. Kind of like a screen protector on a phone or something like that, almost. About that thickness and that glossiness. And it really worked well. And I bought it at Hobby Lobby, I guess it was. And years ago, when I used to make fiberglass tubes for rockets. But I went in there the other day and they don't have it anymore. So my other alternative is to use heavy-duty aluminum foil. So I bought a big roll of that, and we'll cover the mandrel. Generally, I put a little bit of talcum powder, or not talcum powder anymore, but baby powder down, and then wrap that in whatever I'm using. Preferably that film, which I think was an acetate. I'm not sure. That worked really, really well. But in this case, we're going to use aluminum foil now. But powder it first, put the aluminum foil on, and then tape the seam closed, and then we'll start laying up fiberglass on here and epoxy, and just rotating this as we go, and then putting the epoxy on, working it on there, and you put as many layers on there as you need to. And that's going to be for exhaust tubing. I also wanted to do a little something here, and this, I laid up some fiberglass cloth on this plastic here, and you can see it gives you a relatively nice, smooth, flat surface, other than this plastic has some divots in it. But and I'll probably go thicker with this, go a couple more layers, put some 10 ounce probably on either side of this. But this is 2 layers of 1708, and I kind of wanted to get a feel for what this 1708, how it worked. And anyway, this is going to be a cover for the battery box in the engine room. I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to put a cover on there, but a little nervous, are we? I wasn't going to put that cover on the battery box because it really doesn't need it. One battery is not going to off-gas enough, and the engine room is going to be ventilated, so yeah, it wouldn't need it. But I don't know. I can just imagine some insurance surveyor or something's going to look at it sometime. Oh my God, your boat's going to blow up if you don't have a vent on that. So we'll go ahead and put one on there, and I'll make it out of fiberglass. And that's what this is the start of anyway. So we got that started, and this is going to be a very, very soon to do project. And you can see my table here is set up and working. And here's the 1708. You know, I don't honestly know if I've ever worked with 1708 before. I don't recall ever having worked with it, but maybe I did at some point, but I'm just not remembering it. But and then here's the 10 ounce. So, yeah, we'll keep on this, and I've got a special epoxy I'm going to use on the fiberglass tubes that I use for exhaust tubes. But yeah, that's, I guess, about the extent of what I've been up to this week. Like I said, we're starting to make progress here now, and it's just going to be a matter of plugging away at it. So I will keep you up to date, and we'll talk to you again next week.